Hi everybody, it's Grace here. Good morning, good morning. Is it Wednesday? It's Wednesday, September 22nd, and I'm going to be working on the Mother Goose journal. So I did a little bit on this last night. That was part 3. We finished up with putting all the pages inside the journal, but I want to do a little bit more with this to just fancy it up, to make some pretty junk, some coordinated junk as we called it last night. So come on over, come on in. I got myself some coffee. I really need to stop with the coffee, but I'm cold and I love my coffee. So that's what that's all about. Can't help myself. Anybody else drinking their coffee still? Tell me in the comments. Who's here? Who wants to hang out? Let's see. I'm gonna try to grab the comments here so that when you come on, I can say hi and we can chillax and play. There we go. I found it. Hey, Lindsay. Hey, Michelle. Hello. All right, ladies. So last night we got all of the pages in. Well, a lot of the pages in. I didn't want to overload it too much because here's the thing. We sewed all the pages in. Once, you've got your pages in, then you're going to start building on them and creating on them. And it may get bulkier and bulkier, bigger and bigger, the more you put stuff in your book. So, it's kind of wide as it is, right? And then if we keep adding stuff to it, and it's going to get bulkier. But here's the thing. There are a couple of things that didn't happen that I want to make happen. One of them is in the back here. I want to add a circle here and a circle here and do something bright on the front because we have these two bright spots here. Actually, there's a rectangle too and another rectangle. So anyway, I want to do a little bit more embellishing on the back. So I'm going to start with that and then I'm going to open it up and do something on the inside too. Good morning. It's raining and yucky here in Indiana. I'm at work, but nothing is broke. So I'm watching you. We'll take it. We will take it, right? Nothing's broke. That's good stuff. Okay, circle. I think I pulled out last night and I never got to it. Maybe I put it away. I did put it away in my black gesso, which is what I used to stencil on the diamonds. I love black gesso because it's got a matte, I think that's what I used there. It's got a matte finish and it's a primer. So if you want to put anything else on top of it, it's going to accept most mediums that you put on top of it. And it's just, it's so pigmented. That's what I really love about it, is how pigmented it is. All right, let me grab stencil brushes. We're over here. I'll be back in a minute. I'm back. I got my stencil brushes. I don't know why. It's because when I do my lives for Essential Stencil, I want to make sure I have them. And so they're over there. All right, anyway. We're going to add some circles, you guys. Feeling a little silly this morning, but super excited to do some more. Michaela, my morning is great. How was yours? I had a dentist appointment, ortho appointment for my Invisalign right away at 8:10. And listen, I am not generally dressed at 8:10. I'm always up. And normally by 8:10, I've worked for a couple of hours. But usually, I'm still drinking coffee, haven't showered yet, all that thing. Because I wait for the kids and Chris to get out of the house, get off to work and school, and then I jump in the shower. That way I'm not in their way. I make the kids lunches if they want one for the day. See my husband off, that kind of thing. But today I had to get up and get dressed. Early bird. So maybe that's why I'm feeling so silly. It's a little bit off for me, a little bit different. So, and then in about an hour, I've got to take Yanny Manny. He's homesick today and he's had some pain issues. And got to get him to the dermatologist. He has an appointment with the dermatologist this morning because he's having lots and lots of skin issues. Hey, Miss Vivian in Arkansas. It's good to see you. Good to have you here. You can see me. I can't see you, but I wish I could. Okay. Big circle here. And then there's this spot right in here. We could put one. Maybe I'll put a big one under the bird. It doesn't really matter, right? You could do whatever you want. That's the nice thing about these journals is you get to create it however your little heart desires. So I'm going to grab some of this. I'm not going to think too much about it. Seriously, don't think too much about it. I think when we think too much, we talk ourselves out of stuff. So just go with it. It'll all work out. I promise you, it'll all work out, and you get to build on it, and that's the really fun part. I'm going to do a medium-sized one there and a bigger one here. I don't know why, just because that's what I'm feeling. Let's go with, oh, I'm getting gesso on my stencil where I don't want it. Okay, we're going to go right here, and I'm going to go over some of the diamonds, filling in that empty spot right there. Okay, and this is a really big stencil. I could have just, you know, you could just go in with a pencil and outline it and then go in and paint, but I'm just going to use the stencil as my guide. You notice I'm coming from the plastic stencil part onto the book, and I don't need, you guys know me, I'm not like super uber worried about things being perfection. That's, I just don't, it's just not me. I do like the look of the stippling because it gets little peaks in your paint. Or your gesso in this case, and I like that look, and it's going to darken up the circle, and so that's what I want. So I got it covered. Now I'm going to come in and give it a good, oh, I like it. We're going to do more with that. Don't you worry, friends. Okay, this, though, has a big old gesso mess on it, and I don't want a big gesso mess, so I'm going to grab a wipe while I can. And while that's still wet, and let's see if I can just use just like a shop towel, a paper towel kind of thing. I just don't want it wet because I'm going to move it down to the bottom here, and I don't want just spots of gesso. Not that it really matters, but getting all over the place. Okay, down here now, I was going to go even bigger. Maybe, wait, I just used this one. That one doesn't look much bigger. No, maybe I need to go smaller. I'm thinking scale. I'm thinking scale here. And you know what? I don't have to do just one. Oh, it would be really fun to outline my bird. Oh, yeah, baby. I don't know why I just thought of that. It's because the outline went right over it. All right, listen. Right now, this morning, you are getting, like this is, I want to do more of my book, but I don't really have a plan. Usually when I go live and I do demos, I have like it all thought out and planned, or mostly. Right now, I just know I want to do more, but I'm not sure exactly what. I don't know that I've ever used these kinds of pens, but oh my gosh, let's put a circle around this just because. Oh, I don't like this. Well, I shouldn't say I don't like it. The tip is way softer than I thought it was going to be. And it's not as dark as I thought it was going to be. But, oh, this is going to be cute. All right, I don't know why. I just felt like we're going to add a circle around that birdie. See? Just go with it. Just don't even think too much. Just, you want to circle around your birdie, you put one there. Girlfriend, I give you permission. Okay, next up, little circle down here. And actually, maybe I'll do a little trio or a couple of circles down here. Why not? Why not? We're going to load it up with circles. But I want it to match the front more. Michelle loves the bird. Me too. Amanda loves this journal. Oh my gosh, Amanda, do you journal? Tell me, friend, do you journal? Are you a journal fan? Like, you know, there's people who journal. And then there are those of us who love to make journals and journal. And journaling doesn't have to be writing. You know, traditionally, growing up, and I loved my writing and English classes in high school, and we kept journals, writing journals. Never even occurred to me to do an art journal until I was a grown-up. So you can buy journals that are already made. You can just buy a mixed media pad and journal in that. You see me, I use the thrift store books that I find, the Reader's Digest books to be a journal. Like, you can journal in anything, but I love creating journal books because that in itself is a whole creative process, and it just kind of lets your mind go. Amanda loves making them too. Ooh, it's so fun, isn't it, Amanda? I'm so glad you have that joy too, like the joy of doing it. Okay, so lots of circles. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I liked what this added. I'm going to brighten these circles up a little bit here in a minute. I'm loving that circle around the bird, and I may mark that up a little bit, but I think first I'm going to dry these spots and embellish them a little bit, and then decide if I want to add any more. Oh, that's loud. Sometimes I have to like work in bits and pieces because I don't know. I wouldn't mind putting something in here, but I don't know what. So we're just gonna work with these spots, dry them up, work with them, and then decide. Because when you create, right, like there's no rules. There's no like timeline when you have to do stuff. You can do it however you want. So what I was thinking there, I haven't done this before. Let's try it. I'm gonna grab, I want it to look like this. There's a little bit of red, like down in here and in here. There's bits of like pinkish red, and that's why I originally pulled this paint out. So I feel like I need to add that color. I did add a little bit of it when I painted this. You can see right in this area, I added a little bit of that color, blended it in. And then there's a little bit right here. You can just faintly see it. I did blend a little bit of this into the paint, but I could add more of that. And I want to add a bright spot because like I said, we got these bright spots. So I wouldn't mind adding a bright spot. And I was thinking maybe if this doesn't work, I'm going to pull out my gouaches. There is a white Stabilo pencil. And I've never used it. I've used the other ones doing this before. I probably have shown you that journal page. It's one of my favorites with all the circles in it. And I highlighted, but I don't remember if I used this or not, to be honest with you. We're going to try it. Get stuff out of your way so you can see. Basically, I'm going to take my Stabilo All, which is, or my Woody. These are called Woodies. They're by Stabilo. I use my black Stabilo All pencil all the time. And it's a charcoal pencil. So you put it on and then it's wet reactive. So if you wet it, it's going to react and the charcoal will get like, it'll expand and go out and it gets smoky looking. And I love that look. These basically have the same property. They're a combination crayon / pencil / watercolor. So they are reactive. So I'm going to put it on and then I can use water to make it react. And I'm hoping that the white is going to show up well on here. Oh, actually, I don't really have that, like, I have a red, but it's not quite the red on the other side. It's more bright. Let's just put it on this. Yeah, it's more bright. But if I put it here, can you see that? I put it right there on this craft paper. And then actually that might work if I just add a tinge of it. Let's grab a paintbrush and I'll show you if I wet this, how this is little mark right there. That little mark is going to expand. So a lot of times when I'm not sure what I want to do here or how the products are going to work together, I have like a little piece of paper here and I'm going to practice and see, okay, if I use this, see how it reacted and it spread out and it got bigger. Like what will that color look like when I put it on this? It's red, but it's not the brownish red that I'm looking for. But that's an option. We'll just keep that out. Now I'm going to do the white one and I want to just brighten up these circles. So I'm going to add, like the sun is coming just from one side, one section. I'm going to add some brightness and let's go down low and to the left. I'm going to add some white pencil in here. Do you care? Like, I don't know, maybe you don't care to hear all these explanations. Maybe I should just create like I would if I were by myself. So same section, I'm going to come in the lower left here. Whoop, got it on my diamond. That's okay. Hold that up so you can see it a little better. I'm going to muck it up now. Like we're going to wet it with a little brush and we're going to spread it around and make it like murky so it doesn't look so perfect, right? We're going to, I want to make this softer lines. And it becomes kind of like a watercolor and it's going to spread out. It's a little bit like my my other pencils that I love using in my little art journal from Arteza. Okay, so see what that did? It just really softened it up and moved it around and made it a little lighter. no worries. If it's too light, just come in with more pencil. And you can use your finger. I usually use my finger, to be honest with you. I usually do my finger. And it actually looks like a little bit like an upside down moon, which is totally cool. My finger isn't wet enough, so let's grab the water from the brush. We'll activate that Stabilo All. I usually just dip my finger in the water and then do that. So see, now we're getting some bright spots. We want some white spots on here because we want it to kind of mimic the front. More color needed. There. Bigger circle, more color needed. So see, we're just adding some white spots, and the gesso accepts this perfectly. It's like a crayon / pencil, and the gesso, it's really great to have gesso in your little stash. Oh, thanks, Amanda. It's just really fun. Michelle says, oh, I'm loving it. It's just really fun to play, you guys. Debbie likes the explanations. I'm glad to hear that. I love to teach. I want to teach you guys anything that you want to know about how to do stuff. And I want to give you the confidence, really, truly, the confidence to just try. I'm going to see if I can, why can't I brighten this up a little bit? There it is. There it is. I want to give you the confidence to just like go for it. Don't worry. Just go for it. Okay, so I want this. Now this circle here, I would like it to be a little smokier. I'm just going to grab my Stabilo All pencil, the one I use quite often for this, for outlining things and then making it smoky. It's just like a regular pencil, except it works on like, and I think it says it right on the box too. It can work on paper, glass, plastic, metal. Like it works on a lot of different things. So I grabbed a marker to start with this, but I'm going to come in and outline it with this. I love the look that the Stabilo All pencil gives because it's chalky. And it's really dark. The marker did fine, but I would like for this to get a little smoky, and I'm going to spread it out a little bit. So I'm just going over the whole line with that. And again, I usually dip my finger when I'm working in water, and I just, just see what it did? Just see, it's like magic every time. Oh, it just makes it dark and like smoky. The more water you use, I'm gonna grab more water because I like it super like, see how reactive it is? The more pencil you use, the more reactive it's gonna be. Ooh, and I like that it's like not perfect and it can be a little messy looking. My bird looks captured. Oh, I love that. Okay, black Stabilo All pencil all over my finger. This is why this is called the Crafter's Manicure. I was looking at my nails this morning. I'm like, my nail beds, everything's just a mess because I constantly have glue and adhesives and chalk pencils and all the stuff all over me. It's the way it is. Okay, I'm going to try to just add a little bit of red to the outline on this part just to see if I can get a little bit of that color to come through. And I'm going to use, where did I put it? Right here. I'm going to use my paintbrush to just activate that red and see if I can't get some of that red tint to come through. Oh yeah, it's coming through, baby. See, just so I can get it to mimic a little what's going on the other side with color. Okay. Now, yeah, I'm trying to be careful because the white that's underneath it, I'm putting the red on top of the white, and the white that's underneath it is still reactive. It's not gonna, even though it's dry, when I re-wet it, the white's going to react and it's going to move around on me again. Okay, so that's one of the properties of these pencils. So I have to be careful because I don't want a pink color. I want it to be red. So I have to be careful not to get it so wet and keep working it. If I keep working it, the white and the red are going to mix together and I'm going to get it pink. Now, this is the reason why, teachable moment here, I love these pencils, the Inktense pencils. Because these are unlike the Stabilo pencils. These, once you use them, and then if you want to add another layer, the first layer, once it's dry, remains permanent. It will not reactivate. You cannot move it. It remains permanent. So in some instance like this, these would be fantastic because you can't reactivate what's underneath once it's dry. The Stabilo All pencils, you can. So it's just knowing what the things do and then knowing where you want to use them based on what your result is that you want to be, that you want to get. So fun. I love product, you guys. I love crafty supplies. Jane says, I love you. I like your hands. They look like mine. Crafty manicure. That's what I call it. The crafter's manicure. Oh, okay. I was lazy this last time, and I have a Keurig, but I use the refillable filter thing because I'm big on not, like, I just don't want to add a lot of waste. I don't want to have all those pods. So I do have some pods though, and I was being lazy, and I had a cup of coffee from making my own this morning, and then I just real quick threw in, like, I have this like caramel mixed coffee. It's so good. And it was like a pod, you know, you can buy the pods. It was a pod, and it's so dang good. Because my coffee is plain. That is caramel, and it is stinking good. This is still drying around the bird. But I love the way the bird has been outlined. It actually would be nice to put something square or rectangle in, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I do, you guys, I will sometimes work in phases. Like, it's a big, this is kind of a big project, right? We've got all kinds of elements to work on here. And I have no problem doing it in itty bitty pieces. Like, I'll come back to this. I'm going to leave it the way it is for now. Sit on it, think about it. I may have to darken this a little bit. But I can come back to it later and add more or make adjustments. I want to reactivate that red. I want it to be a little more smeared than it is. But no worries. I can come back to that later and wet it and rework the smear. That's the nice thing. All right, almost dry. I know it's loud. I apologize for that. I got like something lint or something blowing on me. Okay, here's the front. Here's the back. Oh, by the way, I did get, you know, I'm an ambassador for Essential Stencil, and one of their stencils has bats in it, so I can add these bats. I told you guys I don't have anything that's a bat. Well, now I do. I'm so excited, but that's for later. I'm not going to worry about it right now. I just wanted to do a little more on the outside here to get that to match. Now let's move to the inside. Ooh, so exciting. I do have craft paper here because I was thinking, do we want to add something? I don't know. I'll move stuff aside, make some room. Oh, I might use the gesso. I might. So here we go. Here's this I haven't touched yet, and this is what I was thinking. I think I'm going to, so when I open this up, we've got very, very warm colors here. Browns, tans, a little bit of like a cranberry color, the whites, black, lots of black. And then I open it up and I have this bright green. And I don't want to lose the illustration because I think it's fantastic. And on the front, there's a house. And it says witch's house. Witch lives here. It doesn't say witch's house. It says witch lives here. So I was thinking, because I opened it up this morning and I'm like, I don't love the bright green. I mean, I do, I love it, but not for this book. But I don't want to lose this house illustration. So I'm going to use my paints. I think I'll use paint instead of gesso. I don't know. I can't decide. I'm going to paint all around that house and obscure the trees to make the trees go away, kind of, even though they're very pretty. If I come in with the paints, either to make it match this, like I did on the background, or with black gesso, then I could isolate the house and keep it. There's a little black cat on the doorway of the house, and then there's Mother Goose, and I want to keep Mother Goose, and I want to keep her little black cat. But see, if I paint all around it, then they're going to be like a huge focus, right? It's going to be like, bam, there's that house. Then you start seeing the details of the house, like the cat, and there's an owl, there's a dog under a bench. She's got some goats over here. So I'm going to try to get rid of the trees. There's a little chicken that might get lost over here. The chicken I might paint over. But then when I get down here, I'm not quite sure, but we're going to see. And I can't decide if I want to use the gesso or paint. I have some gesso left. Ah, I'm going in. I got some gesso left on my paintbrush, so we'll start with that. I don't know. What do you think? Should I make it match this or should I go black? What do you think? What do you think? Thank you for sharing, Miss Janice. That is so helpful. Super helpful to me when you guys share. It really is. It's sharing, stars, being here, hanging out with me. It's super helpful. And I appreciate every single one of you for that. What about a stain to ute the colors? Use the colors? Oh, to mute. I would like, I see, because I may add other things to it. I'm not quite sure, right? So a stain is I would use a paint wash, kind of like a stain, but I think I want it to be more, I want to get rid of the trees, basically. I want it to be more bold than that. I just can't decide if I should cover it with paint or with gesso. Mary loves it. Oh, I'm so glad. All right, let's start with the gesso. This isn't the right brush, so I'm gonna put that aside. I'm gonna grab a regular paintbrush that's been cleaned and primed and treated, and we're gonna go in, because listen, the black gesso, I can paint right over it. I'm gonna try to leave, because I came in a little bit. There's this, like, this is a piece of paper. The illustration is on a piece of paper that's glued to the board, the cover, and there's a little bit of a lip around there that doesn't have that paper on it. So I'm going to go right up to that lip, not perfectly. I'm not going to try to like paint it perfect lines, but I'm going to try not to cover that lip and just get the rest of this covered. I should have taken a before and after picture, because I think this could be really interesting. Let me use my iPad and get a quick before and after. Like, what are we doing here? This could be an interesting, like, we went from this to this, right? I don't think to do that often enough. Okay. So we're gonna, whoop, I went over the edge a little too much there, but that's okay. I want to try to keep that edging. See how it's like giving it a brighter frame around the, and then when I get all of this painted in with this black gesso, the house is going to become like, bam, it's going to become the focal point. And that's what I want. And so that's why I don't want to do a stain. I want it to be super bold. But there's no, that doesn't mean the stain is wrong. There's no judgment on doing the stain. It's just a different effect than what I'm going for. And you guys, this probably would have been easier if I had done it before the book was all put together. But I told you, I kind of work in, and you let me know if you do the same thing. I kind of work in like stages, because I make my mind up as I go, so I'm not quite sure what I want to do. So now that I have this together, I didn't want to get rid of this illustration, but I hadn't quite decided how to handle that. So I left it in the book. I put the book together. Now that the book is together, I don't want the trees. I want the house. I don't want the trees. I want Mother Goose. I want all the pretty details of the house. Kind of like Mother Goose is joining the witches. I don't know. I'm not really a witchy person either. Okay, so see how now that house is starting to like, boo, bam, there's your house. I need a smaller paintbrush though, because I'm getting into these detailed areas and it's a little harder with that big paintbrush to get in there. So littler brush so I can come in, and I might have to like stipple paint around the house and like blur those edges a little bit, kind of like what I did here on the front, where I had to pull the paint into the rice paper so that it all looked like one project. So now I'm going to just start, instead of painting with brush strokes, I'm going to come in with the stippling and get these edges to be a little like that. You see what I'm saying? You'll see what I'm saying? But I do want to lose this big tree. It's got to go. Because it's too bright. I want darker in here. I want this whole section to be darker. I don't mind having that little tree. I think I'm going to keep that. But I'm going to lose most of the other stuff that's really bright. Guys, this is me just playing. And I hope you don't mind witnessing the madness. I could have, and I was thinking, I'll just, go ahead and do this. But then I thought, why not share it with you guys? It'd be kind of fun for you guys to see. So see what we got. And now here's my masking tape that I used to secure that, the binding a little more on the book. So I'm going to go right over that as well. And get that black up into that binding. Just so it all looks cohesive, right? This is what I love about journaling, that like it is in itself, the whole thing is like a piece of art in itself. It's a whole art project, whole craft project in itself. And then you have all the pages that you can play with. There's a pretty pink flower that goes up into the house. We're going to lose a little bit of it. Not all of it, but a little bit of it. I'm going around Mother Goose carefully because I don't want to lose her. I haven't decided about her goats. We're going to lose this goat. Sorry, goat. Goodbye. I think it's a goat. Maybe it's a lamb. I don't know. I can't really tell. You guys, my 16-year-old, I think he has like a little bit of a, what do you call it? Photographic memory. And when he was really little, when he was just learning to read, like kindergarten, preschool, he loved reading about animals. So he had all these animal books, and the kid can remember, like if you ask him about a particular type of whale, he could tell you how big they get, how long they get, what their gestation period is for their babies, how big the babies are. He remembers details like, it's unbelievable to me. I don't know animals. I grew up in the city. I'd have to compare a goat to other things and be like, okay, yeah, that's a goat. I mean, it's pretty bad, isn't it? Animals aren't my thing. I don't pay attention to them. It's not that I don't care, but I don't really care about animals. I don't know. Don't be offended if you're an animal person. My mother was afraid of dogs, so she taught us to be afraid of dogs. We never had animals as kids. Grew up in the city. She told us to stay away from all animals, so that's what we did. Half of us are allergic to cats and dogs. So I'm just not a huge, it's not like I wish them harm, but I don't really get too excited about animals. Okay, I don't pay attention to them either, really. Now you get me, you guys, I'm rambling. Okay, I have to like step back and look at it from afar. I'm not going to literally step back, but I do kind of hold it back away from my face and look, because bam, when I open this, I might have to lose the animals altogether. I'm going to dry it and show it to you. But then look at this, is all done with gesso. So I can come in over the gesso and put anything that I want. So if I wanted to add more of the softer colors that like would mimic what's on the front, I totally could do that. And it would accept it just fine. If I wanted to come in with a marker, my Stabilo pencils, like anything, it should just be fine. Stickers, washi tape, whatever you want to use. Okay, now when we go, and it's just a tish wet, is it? No, maybe that's just a shine. So now when we open it, instead of seeing this, when we open it, this bright green, we see this, which is better. And look, actually these colors match this paper, so that works out really good. I think I need to lose the goats though. Or what are they? Someone tell me. I don't know what they are. And this tree goes up into the house. That's why I kept it. I think I'll go up a little bit more into this greenery. Just a little bit. And in here, just a little bit, like pulling it up toward the house, the black. There's the little black cat. Can you see the little black cat? How cute is that little black cat? I don't want to lose Mother Goose. She's stinking cute, and she has a broom like it's a witch's broom. See her? And the hat looks like the shape of a witch's hat, even though it's not black. Do you see where I'm going with this? All right, so tell me, do I lose the animal? Somebody tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. Oh, thank you, Michelle. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. Use the color from the outside. Lori, I may end up doing that. See, good morning to Rinda. She says, good morning, peeps. I do work in phases though. When I can't really decide, I do sometimes just kind of like take it slow. Like I can't quite commit. So I go a little slow and try to decide as I go, like, what should I do here? All right, I'm going to pull this black in a little more. I think maybe they're okay. Maybe if I get rid of some of this grass around them a little more, maybe they're okay there. So you see, I'm not doing a straight line. I didn't draw a straight line to edge that all out. I stippled that that gesso on there to just kind of give it a really softer muted line. I think I'm gonna leave it like it is for now. I'm gonna come in with a little black over the house, just a little bit, to like pull it all together. Over here too. Oh my gosh, I like it so much more. Bam, there's the black house and it matches what's going on here. Yay, yay. It's way better than this bam, right? And actually, if I wanted to carry this over, I could take all this black. So you see the scene. She has her little animals here, whatever they are, her house, and she's sweeping. It was all the trees. Now, if we come over here, it's a continuation of that scene. And here's her walkway that goes from her front house, and then there's her walkway. Oh, there's a boy here, and he's got a duck on a rope. I didn't even notice that before, but he's like walking this goose. It's not a duck, it's a goose. And then there's chickens, and there's more of those white animals, and then there's some more white animals here. There's a cow. This is upside down. I think that's another cow. I don't know what the heck that is. Another animal here, but it's black and white. It's not a cow though. I could blacken out most of this and just keep the walkway with the boy. And then it would be like a continuation of this up front. Do you see? Do you see? Do you see? So I'll probably do that. I'm not going to do it now because I won't put you through watching that. I'm going to do something on the inside now. I would love to know, even if you're catching the replay, I would be so eager to hear what you think. And I'm not offended if you say, I would have left it the same. It's totally cool because that's you and that's how you will do your book when you do a Mother Goose book. But this is how I chose to do my book, right? So there's no right or wrong. I'm constantly reminding you guys of that. I don't ever, and I don't want you to ever feel like, oh, but that's not the way Grace did it. That doesn't matter. Like when you're doing your own stuff, you do it how your little heart desires, and whatever you feel like doing for the moment, that's what you should do. And that's how you learn and grow as a creator. Like you're going to start developing your own sense of what you like and don't like. Just the more you do stuff. And I want you to just dive right in and do what you think you want to do. Okay, let's see. I'm going to check comments again. Dorinda says, lose those animals. Goats, sheep can go. Kathleen, thank you for the help. She says that, yeah, those goats and sheep can go. Yeah, I may. I'm not done, clearly. I'm not done. I'm going to, oh, I just got some gesso on my table. Didn't mean for that. I'm not done. And so I'm going to let it sit. I'm going to ruminate on it a little bit, if that's a word, right? That means like kind of think on it, consider. This is when the magic eraser comes in, when you get gesso on your art, your art table, pad, cutting mat. That's what it's called. Okay. Now we have lots of blank pages that we can have a lot of fun with. See this? We have lots of blank pages. We have some music sheets. We can just start creating on these. I've got my envelope. I've got this gorgeous. I'm so excited about the canvas, even though it's in backwards. I don't care. I'm really excited about that canvas. I am going to put some fall scenes somewhere in here. And actually, oh, I've got that felt. Ooh, so much. So I'm so excited to play with this. Now, actually, I have some fall napkins here, and I'm going to decoupage. My paint just went over the table edge. I'm going to decoupage with one of these fall napkins. I don't know which one yet. Or maybe I'll do more than one. We'll see. We will see. We're gonna pick a page. Oh, it would be really pretty over the music paper. And oh, where's the other paper that I had, you guys? Hold on, hold your horses, because I had all this other paper that didn't get used yesterday, but that could get used. Here are my stencils. Here, this paper here. Oh, I need a bigger space. I need a bigger table. I'm going to tell my hubby, I need more space. This room is about like less than half the size of my craft room in the other house. So I struggle. The map is here, Michelle. The map is here. Jean loves the trail off of the animals. Yeah. So thinking about that, like I can always cover the animals up later, right? So I'm not sure. But when I think about carrying that scene over into the back cover, it would be really fun to keep that walkway and to keep the little animals and then just get rid of the bright trees. Okay, so remember all this paper was the stuff that didn't end up used because I just had too much of it, I felt like, to put in the book in terms of binding it all together. These are like stinking beautiful papers. Like, look at that. It's got metallic like emblems on it. It's scrapbook paper that I was going to make pages out of, and then I decided not to, but it's really pretty scrapbook paper. And some of it has like foiled images on them, or like emblems. You see that, how it's foiled? So this I would love to work in here too. So there's a scrapbook paper. That's a half of a 12 by 12. I could work this in here too. And actually, what if, I'm just looking at my options here. So this page, it's a piece of scrapbook paper, but it's double-sided. So it has this, so it's prepped for you to either put a photo in here or something, or like a journal in here in your scrapbook. But I really like the other side, which is this pattern. And that could be a beautiful backdrop for this envelope. So let's do that first. And I know this side of the envelope can remain an envelope because I think that's kind of cool and junky. But let's maybe cover this side of this envelope with this really pretty paper. And then I think I'm going to decoupage one of those sunflowers on it. Just because, oh, look at, this is almost perfectly fit. If I just fold it, it almost perfectly covers that envelope. That is wild. It's almost like a little sleeve or cover for that envelope. The only thing is that you would have to live with is the fact that you can see the manila envelope on this side of the binding before you flip this. And if that bugs you, you would have to come up with a solution for that. I think if I flip this, it's a tish longer on this side. Oh, and actually I like the distressing on this side more. So if I flip this, it's going to be, it covers it. Wonky folding for the win. Now it covers it. Now it covers it. On this side, it was a little short, but I can live with it more short on this side because I haven't even done anything with that page yet. Yes, a bit dull. That's what we're going to do. Okay, I need a pencil. Please, a pencil. Here we go. Pencil. Wonky folding for the win. I'm going to mark this paper here because that's where my cut line is. That's where I want to cut it. Got a little pencil mark. I'm not going to dare do it by hand because it's too long and I'm trying to cover a straight line. If it didn't involve a straight line, I probably would hand cut it, but I'll use my paper cutter so that, wait, where did my marking go? Hello? It was just here. What? Oh, there it is. It's on this side. I'm like, what did I do? I can't find it. Okay, if I fold this just right, it was on the inside. Wacky me. Okay. This way I have a nice straight line. Oh, well, as straight as a wonky girl can get. Okay, straight line. This will get you somewhere else. Do not throw. Do not throw. We do not waste, as my dad always used to say. We do not waste things. We use them up. Okay, now we have this, but I got to fold it back the other way. And then we can just glue it down. Now listen, you glue with whatever glue makes your little heart happy. I really like, hold on, is this what I was doing? I just got to make sure my placement is right. Yes, I really like my tacky glue. You could use a glue stick if you have one. I like my tacky glue. You could use Elmer's glue. You could use a tape runner. You could use whatever your little heart desires. I'm going to use this glitter glue because it's my favorite and it works really well. We're going to cover this up and then I am going to decoupage a beautiful sunflower on here. I think I'm going to start on this side because this is the side that I'm more picky about where this lines up. The other side, not so much. So I'm going to add my glue and I'm going to, this glue works really well, you guys. And I'm actually pretty happy to cover up this, what is this color? Like a mustardy yellow. It goes with the rest of the book, but I'm happy to cover it with a really decorative scrapbook paper because I think the paper's prettier than the envelope. Okay, wait a minute now. Before I glue it down, I gotta stand up because I'd be short. I wanna make sure I'm lined up and down. Like that the paper's lined up. And this glue sets pretty quickly, actually. It sets pretty quickly and it works really well. So I wanted to put a little effort in. Where's my chair? Jeez, wouldn't it be like me to sit down in like the chair? I've done it before where you sit down and the chair's not there and you end up on the ground. Oh, give me some hearts if that's ever happened to you. Good gravy. Okay. Okie dokie. Much prettier. But now, oh, actually, we could have a little flap here. We could leave this like this and have a little secret flap for journaling, for whatever we want. I am going to put a little more glue in here to get that to really stick, like right on the edge. This, I think I'm going to keep a flap. Because why? Because why not? It's like a little haunted house. Maybe I could put some, like a skeleton picture or something in there. I actually, you guys, I did think about this. I am not a ghoulish, I'm not a huge fan of Halloween in general. Like I'm indifferent to it. I loved it when my kids were little and I loved them getting dressed up and I loved taking them trick-or-treating. I loved all of that. My kids are 14 and 16. They don't dress up. They haven't for a few years and they don't do anything really. Sometimes they get together with their friends and they do walk downtown and do trick-or-treating. They'll put like masks on and something. They're not into the whole getting dressed up thing. So with that, you know, it's just not as fun for me as an adult. That's just me. I never really was into it as a young adult myself. I do like cutesy fall Halloween decorations, like cute witches and cute cats. I don't love the ghoulish stuff. And this isn't really so much ghoulish as it is vintage. And that's why I think I love it so much. It's have like that little picture of the witch, but she doesn't look like a super ghoulish. She just looks creepy. She's a creepy witch with her house, and her house is beautiful, and the bats and the little scroll. What is that called? What are those things called? I can't remember. Fixture. It's like one of those corbels, right? A corbel. But you could put something like creepy in here, like another picture of a witch or a bat or something, and I could add a little tab so that you know. Oh my gosh, I'm going to leave it just like that. I wasn't intending to originally, but I like myself that flap right there. Yes, Teresa, I have that on the top here. She's saying cut it and make it a pocket. We have that on the top. We did that last week. Right here, up on the top. Wait, I just can't see it. I will find it for you. There's my little pocket on the top. And then I have my pocket here, right? So where this clasp goes, that's kind of a fun, cool pocket. And actually, what if... What if we made this match? I have an idea. Well, I could just use it. The only thing with this piece of paper is it has a wrinkle in it. Now it has that crease where I folded it. It's not the end of the world. Can you iron out paper? But what if I use this here instead of this flap so that this was kind of decorative too? You see, oh, see what I'm saying here? Oh, come on, baby doll. Work with me. Ugh, all right. I could, because I don't intend to ever glue this closed, but I could make this pretty here too as well. That could be pretty. It's an idea. Let's decoupage. I feel like it. I feel like doing it. And actually, oh my gosh, we're right at this spot where my little canvas is, my canvas panel. And I have my ropes here, and I'm going to add some charms, beads to this, because I think that's fun. We'll do that today. But let's first go with the napkin and just decoupage a napkin. And really, we could decoupage it on the fabric. We could decoupage here. Let's pick a napkin. Because I'm not real ghoulish, I'm just going with some pretty fall things. Actually, this would be really cute right here, you guys. Cornfield, apple orchard, sunflowers. We're going to put it right on this fabric. Why not? Let's do it. I should probably put, for now, my gesso away and cover it up. And my glue, because I don't need those. I'm going to grab, I do have fabric Mod Podge. And I'm going to grab that because I'm going to decoupage this right onto this fabric page that makes this flap. And I'll leave the scrapbook page next to it alone. You got to get to the bottom ply here. This napkin is in one of the bundles on the website. It also was in the Napkin Lovers Club bundle that went out in July. And by the way, you guys, Napkin Lovers Club, I have 20 spots left for the October subscription box. It goes out, I can't get this. It goes out every 3 months. And October is the second month. So if you want in early with this membership club, I have a private group just for those members where I do napkin projects. And they get a bundle of napkins every 3 months and other craft supplies that we use in the workshops that I do inside that group. So lots of value to that. If you want to join, it's $39. If you sign up today, it's $39. Your box will come to you with everybody else's in October. And then your next auto charge would be in January for the January box. That's how that works. 20 spots left, so don't delay. All right, look, we had to get to the top, the main ply, the one with all the decorative. The other 2 plies go away. We'll use those for something else sometime. But I am going to put this right here, and we're going to float that right there. I just think it'll be really pretty. And I can wrap it around on this. No, I think I'll leave that flap alone so that that flap matches the inside. And just do it on here. I'm not going to fit the whole thing. It's going to be a little short, but so I'm going to use a paintbrush and I'm going to cut. Well, I'm going to use a paintbrush to mark what I don't want and then tear the napkin because I can feel where my canvas panel is and I don't want this upside down bird over here. So we're going to make a mark here with my paintbrush, the stuff that I do want, and then the edges aren't really going to matter, these edges, because they're going to get cut down because I can only go so far with this. I'm marking that line where the edge of the canvas is, the fabric that I'm going to be Mod Podging on. Decoupaging. I always use the word Mod Podge, but it's, you know, I am going to use Mod Podge product this time. I think Mod Podge has like the terminology. Whenever somebody decoupages something, they say Mod Podge it, even if they're not using Mod Podge, which is good for Mod Podge, the brand. But I try to be so careful not to do that. Okay, that wet line just makes it really easy for me to pull this apart right where I want it. And I prefer the pull apart rather than a cut scissor line. I like it to be torn so it looks really organic. It's still just a tish long. I'm going to get the bulk of it on the middle, but it's the sides that are still a little bit long. I'm going to pull a few of this part right here is a little bit wide. So I'm going to pull that off. And then on the other side, super de-duper cute. On the other side, just a tish of this bottom part, tear off. And now to make it match, listen, you guys, do you see me reaching underneath and like throwing stuff out underneath the table? I've missed the basket most of the time. So I got just a bunch of crap on the floor. The basket kind of like went too far away and I can't reach it, obviously. That is so funny. Okay, so I have torn, and then the straight edge of the bottom that came with the napkin, and I don't like it. It doesn't match. I want it torn like the rest of it. So I'm just gonna tear this up a little bit on the bottom so it has more torn parts. I don't want that straight edge line. I want it to look like it's kind of floating naturally in the middle. And I did tear the napkin a bit. Can you see that tear right there? It's no problem. It's no problem. That's gonna be a really pretty cover to this little part. Yeah, Michelle, I've missed. She's laughing at me. I missed, and they're all like all over the floor. Caramel coffee, yummy yum. Okay. My Boxo Mod Podge. Not all of it's Mod Podge, actually. This is, I have a fabric one. It's none of those. Oh, it's, no, this is hard coat. Gracie, girl, where did it go? That's not it. Oh boy. Hold on, folks. Where? Oh, here. I knew I had one. They are fabric. It didn't fit in my little box. Didn't fit in the box. So they do have a fabric one. And I think part of the property of this that makes it nice is it keeps the fabric soft, right? So it moves. If you're doing tote bags or anything canvas or fabric, it's going to keep the fabric soft so it doesn't get stiff. If you want it to be stiff, don't use this. If you want it to stay smooth and soft, use this. So that's what the difference is, okay? FYI, just so you know. Why do I have all these scissors out? Scissors and rulers, they're all over the place. All right, we're cutting. I think this is well, I know this is super fun for me to share. I went to wipe off my blade and it came out of the thing completely. Super fun for me to share. And this is stuff I would be doing on my own time anyway. So it's kind of cool for you guys to hang out with me while I do it. I love to use napkins in my projects. That's why I've been doing that over time. And you guys literally asked, the Girls in the Crafty Chicks Club, my free craft community, said, we've got to have a napkin club. So I started the napkin club. And you're all welcome to join us. It's a quarterly sub box. But I love working with napkins in my creating. But they're really fun to use in journals because they're just a really fun way to add sweet designs and sweet things without, you don't have to do the artwork. The artwork is already done for you. All you have to do is get it in there, which is super fun. And then you can embellish and add to it if you want. I feel like my big mug is in the way. I gotta move it over. Coffee for that hot chick. That's right. That's so good. And the cup is perfect. Thank you, Judy. Yeah, it's our mess, right, Vivian? I will clean it. I cannot stand when the floor has like stuff all over it, so I do sweep it about once a day. I really do because I don't like the mess. All right, new paintbrush. I dirty lots and lots of paintbrushes. Here we go. This one's like a glue brush, I think. Okay, I'm going to add the fabric. Before I do this, I don't want to get the Mod Podge on what's underneath. So I'm going to put this here. I want a thin part of this. You could use like parchment paper, wax paper if you had it. I happen to have all these craft mats. And so I'm going to put this here to protect the rest of the book underneath, just in case I go over with the Mod Podge a little bit. This is going to go in the middle, right in the middle. So I'm just like in my mind's eye noting that I don't have to put Mod Podge the top inch and the bottom inch, but everything else needs Mod Podge. This is, my brush barely fits in this. Oh, you guys, this stuff is thick. Holy schmoly. It's thicker than mayonnaise. Literally, it's really, really thick. Whoa, I was not expecting that. I was expecting, because it's fabric, that it would be, look at the point that's on that. I dipped it in and then pulled it out. Wow, okay, this is interesting. This is clearly the first time I'm using it. Ow, my shoulder just cracked. Did you hear that? It hurt like a son of a gun. All right, it's really, really thick. I'm going to do half and half because I'm not sure how quickly that's going to dry. I better get out my pouncing brush. Oh, all napkin lovers, when you join the club, you're going to get a pouncing brush and you're going to get a few ounces of my favorite decoupage medium. This isn't the pouncing brush you're going to get. This is my old pouncing brush that I've had for ages and ages. Wowzer, this is interesting. It is so thick. Ooh, so fun. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. All right. That was easy breezy lemon squeezy. Let's do the rest of it. Ah, I'm so excited. Look at how thick this is. It even keeps the peaks where my paintbrush went. It's thick. That is thick Mod Podge. It's brand new. I just got it. It'd be thick. Whoo, fabric Mod Podge. Who knew? Who knew? It's fun to discover and to play, you guys. Discover, play, explore. Make a craft journal, an art journal for yourself, and then just create in it. there's no huge commitment. This is a bunch of pretty junk that I'm creating on. It's like leftover remnants of fabric from projects and papers that I haven't used. And I'm like, what am I going to do with them? The broken book, some paint. Seriously, you guys. Seriously. I encourage you. Just play and have some fun. Okay. I can't believe how thick that is. That was a discovery in itself. Okay, now I cannot believe how easy this is to use. This is still very wet. Like I'm putting my hand on it and it's tacky. I want to get these edges, but I'm going to have to do something. Okay, this got folded over a little bit where I ripped it. I don't mind the rip, but the napkin got folded over on itself. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. Okay, so see, I have a little bit left over on the edge here. I just ripped it. I tore it. I have my thumb. So I'm going to use what's left, that little piece that's hung over the edge there, and I'm going to splice it into the basket. It's part of the basket. I'm splicing it into the basket where I ripped it. We're just going to fix that right up. Perfect. I don't want to let no one will ever know. Don't tell them. Okay, look. I did get Mod Podge on there, so it's a real good thing that I covered that up. Use a rag to get that off. I'll put this in the corner because I reach for that all the time. I'm going to show you, try to show you a little closer what we got going on here. So so it's on there and it's still wet. Oh my gosh, that's going to be a pretty little cover for this with my little flip. But I do have some overage. I don't know if you can see this, but you see right here, right in here, I have a little bit of overage. So I'm going to very carefully tear that off because I don't need it. I don't want it there. I could wrap it around, but I don't really want to wrap it around. I want to leave this side plain. And there's no right or wrong. You could totally wrap your napkin around if you wanted to. You guys, I have some gorgeous fall napkin bundles. But the two bundles that I have that are on the website, thecomfynestwithgrace.com, the two bundles that I have that are fall, there's only about 5 or 6 of each bundle left. So if you want them, go grab them. Otherwise, join the Napkin Lovers Club because there's going to be, I think there are 15 napkins going out this quarter. And half of them are fall Halloween. And then we got some Christmas stuff coming too. So that is another way to supply your napkin stash. Okay, that is stinking cute, you guys. And it matches this decorative paper that we use to cover this. Now we have this flap over the envelope. This has a top pocket in it. And now we have this really pretty decorative cover from the napkin for this. So this is the fun part about having an art journal, is doing all the art on the inside. We also did this, and we did some more on the back. Oh, let's add some charms because they can be really fun. I was going to add some charms, and actually, not really charms. I'm going to add some beads. I've got some natural looking black and brown and cream colored beads. So I'm going to add a couple of those to the bottom here because I think that'll be really fun hanging. So the first thing I'm going to do, let's open it up to the middle where this is. This is still wet, so I probably should leave this open anyway because that's wet. I don't want that there. Hold on. One more piece of napkin to tear off here. I don't want that to dry there. Let's just throw that on the floor. Okay, so see how I have this hanging down? I could put a bow in this, but I'm not going to because I want to put the beads down here, and I think it would be really fun to have those hanging. So I'm going to put a little knot at where I don't want the beads to go up into the book, like right there. So that's like the stop point for the beads. I don't want them to go further than that, up. And then I'm going to hang the beads down so that they're dangling out from under the book, which would be really cute. So let's do at least some of those. So I have little ones, I have big ones that are black and brown. Well, they're like a really deep walnut and a brown, like a medium brown and a light brown. So let's just add a couple of these. Now, the one thing I should do, I could grab this Mod Podge. This is what I sometimes do when I'm beading stuff, when I'm working with beads and I'm trying to string stuff along. That is such thick Mod Podge. I will sometimes take Mod Podge, any kind of glue. Elmer's glue, a stick glue would work, and I do wrap it around the bottom because that will get frayed on you, whether it's thread, embroidery floss, jute, it's going to get frayed on you, and then you're not going to be able to thread it. So if you put just a little bit of glue on there, it's going to make it stiff, and it's going to make it stay together so that it's not going to come apart on you. Okay, so let's add, let's do like a medium colored one, and I'll go a little bit smaller here. I did 2 big ones, and then I have a smaller one. Oh my gosh, I don't want to do too much because you don't want it to be too heavy, I don't think. But then I can tie a little knot, and I got some cute little beads hanging. And then on the other one, I might leave the other one, you guys. So look, when you close your book, you can have beads and charms. And I might leave this one because I may have some little charms that would be like fall appropriate to put on there. What do you think? Should I do more beads or should I leave it for charms? I'm liking the beads. Let's just do the beads. Let's just do it. You got to make, so eventually you do, if you want to finish your project, you got to make some decisions. A little bit of glue. I'm just using that fabric glue, that fabric Mod Podge. And we're going to add some beads. Michelle, you're so sweet. Sending me 50 stars for beads. Yay, you're so sweet. Whoop, whoop. 50 stars. Aw, thanks, Sarah. You're welcome. I am passionate about teaching. That's why I love having the membership groups, because that's what we do in there. We're constantly working on new and different projects. Okay, let's see. We're going to change this one up. So I have a dark, light, medium. Let's do light. I'll do a small light one. I'll do a bigger dark one. And they're going to clank against each other, which would be kind of cute and fun. And then, oh, wait a minute. No, let's do the medium one next. Bigger medium, and then we'll do a small dark. Just to change it up so they're not exactly matching each other. And listen, if you like exactly matching, then exactly match yours. That's what you should do. I want a little dark one. Thankfully, I don't even know where I got these beads. I've had them for so long. The holes on the beads, even though some of them are smaller, the holes on the beads are all the same size. So it makes it easy to thread. I'm going to loosely tie a knot on these, and I could cut that bottom tail off, but I'm not going to, because if I do find charms that I want to add to this, clanky goodness. I love it. If I want to add charms, I'll be able to untie that and like wiggle a charm up in there. Okay. So I'm just going to leave that. Oh my gosh, we got a lot done today. This book, I think, is going to be a work in progress. I think I'll continue, as tempted as I am. Like last night, I really wanted to work in it. After a live, I wanted to keep working in it, but I thought, no, I better just wait. First of all, I was exhausted. Second of all, I thought it would be really fun to share the progress with you guys. So I was thinking about making a video and then sharing it on the page. But I thought today I would go live and share with you more progress. So I'm going to continue to progress this book and share it with you guys. So if you are not on the texting service, that's how I make the text alerts. I let everybody know. I go live every Tuesday night, late night crafting. And it's either 8:39, somewhere in there. And I text everybody and I post it on the page and in the Crafty Chicks Club what the time is for that Tuesday. It's only changed recently because I'm a member of that Craft Round the Clock group as a hostess, and the times aren't always exactly 9. So I try to make it work so that I can do late night crafting for Craft Round the Clock and for you guys at the same time, so that the time has been adjusting a little bit. That's why that's been happening. So I always will send out alerts saying I'm going live. So if you want to be in on this to continue to see it progress, get on the text alert service. The number is right there behind me, if you can see it. You could also just message me if you need it. I think I also put it, yeah, actually I can put it right in the comments right now. You just text me the word Crafty Chicks, or the words Crafty Chicks, to this number, 701-354-7766. I'll put it in the comments. You can grab that phone number and text me, and then you'll be on that text alert system so that you know the next time I go live. Okay, so this is progressing so beautifully. I will get the bats out eventually, and we'll probably add some bats in here because that's a great place for them. I'm loving the way this back is turning out now that we've added the circles. I love, love, love the way this is turning out because it's so dramatic. And I don't know yet if I'm going to put anything on the black part. I may just leave it the way it is. Haven't decided, will decide as I go. And I probably, I'm sure what I'll do is make this mimic it and just get rid of everything but that walkway with the kid and the goose and some of the animals so that it looks like the front is continued onto the back. And we'll just keep working on the inside, adding little decorative embellishments and pockets and things on the inside to make it all decorative. And that's where like my regular art journaling will go, is on these inside pages while we work on the outside, finishing the outside. Oh, I'm so excited. We got the beads done. Hi from rainy Ohio, Miss Kathy. Jane loves the beads. Me too, me too. Oh my gosh, so fun. I like that they're kind of chunky. Oh, Debbie, I'm so glad you love that I'm doing it live. I'm so happy to hear that. It really does help me. It does really, your comments and you telling me that really does encourage me to keep doing what I'm doing, right? So that I know if you guys appreciate it, you're enjoying it, you're getting value from it, you're learning something new. Those are all good things. That's exactly what we want. That's exactly what I'm stretching for. All right, if you have any interest in the Napkin Lovers Club, join. Just do it today because there's 20 spots left. That means I have 20 the surfaces that I picked to send out with this napkin bundle this time. I have all the original members. We had 7 sign up between the last box and now. So some of those were people who were on the wait list, and they're getting an early bird gift because they were on the wait list, and they get an early bird gift offer, and they get their first dibs at the number of spots that are left. Now that they've signed up, there are 20 spots left. So if you want one of those 20 spots to get a box in October, it's $39. You would pay the day that you sign up, and then the next time you would pay, it's auto charged to your card, is January 1st for the January box because it's quarterly. And then in between now and then, I would give you immediate access to the private group, and in the private group, we do more of this stuff, more napkin-specific projects, using napkins in all kinds of fun ways. So love to have you join us if you want to. Okay. Oh, Donna, I'm so glad to hear that. She said, I love seeing the progress. Yay. It's raining and it's raining everywhere. It's raining and cloudy in Ohio. And Donna says it's raining in North Carolina, and it's a great day to craft. Oh, Janice, that makes my heart so happy hearing that. All right, you guys, have a beautiful, blessed day. Got to get my kid to the doctor's. We'll see you later. Bye.